We're back. We are back. That was weird. That was weird. But we're back. All right. So I don't know. Everything just dropped on me. Everything just dropped. I'm back. Let's get back to it. I'm gonna put up 90 minutes on the timer, and we'll go from there. So we were about 40 minutes in. So let's do 90 minutes, and we'll call it a day that way. All right. I'm gonna go back and then I'll check the chat. I don't think I missed many chats, but I will. Where is the? I don't know why it's not showing me the new chat. All right. Let me see. Are we streaming? We are live. All right. I'm not seeing anything coming into the chat. Give me a second. Let's go here. There we go. There goes the chat. All right. There goes the chat. All right. I thought I was going crazy. Let's go and do this. So let me finish with this one, and then I will get back to the chat. All right. So let's do this. So let me start over. Right. So let's do it this way. Why you failed your last interview?
Another one.
It says, I've been a hiring manager for 7 years at multiple companies. I see a lot of people here talking about difficulty getting hired. Recently, I have interviewed the worst, yes, the worst candidates ever, about 50 a week. That is all right. I don't know what size company that you're working at, but to interview 50 people a week, I would just go crazy. So here are some tips to get interviews and to nail them. All right, so for career development. So this person, so they've been a hiring manager 7 years for jobs paying $14 an hour all the way to $350,000 per year. Junior, you enjoy Bible study. I will talk to you most likely tomorrow, whenever, but you have a great Bible study, a great night. Let's see. So about 350 to 350 a year salary. Recently, I've been interviewing for a position that pays $27 to $32 per hour. These interviews have been the worst, the absolute worst that I have ever conducted.
Bruh.
It makes me wonder what the recruiter is filtering out and if good candidates are getting phased out before I even get to meet them. That would suck that the good candidates get phased out, but the crappy ones stay in, all right? I work very closely to make sure this doesn't happen, but lately with all the personality tests some companies have in hoops, they are just getting filtered out before it even makes it to the recruiter. Here are my tips to getting through that and tips for a good interview. Okay, make sure you guys are taking notes, right? Tips to get your resume in front of someone, right? It says now with all the filtering systems, a referral from someone working at the company is best. If it will get you to a recruiter, and the recruiter can save your resume from going into the abyss. So I'll say this, right? I'll give some commentary as I'm reading this. I know people have done this to me as well. Like they'll reach out to me saying, "Hey, I see your company is hiring. Would you be able to put in a referral to me?" My answer is always, it's always no. It is always no. I don't know you. How can I refer someone that I don't know? So if you can get somebody to give you a referral, sure, but me, I don't put my name on the line for people that I do not know. And I don't put my name on the line for some people that I do know. So definitely if I don't know you, my name is not being put on the line for you. All right. It says apply for jobs even if you're not qualified. It's easier to get higher paying jobs because less people apply, and even then the ones that are qualified sometimes have terrible attitudes, and as a hiring manager I don't have anyone to pick from and have to wait. Yeah, like the cultural fit, the personality of a person plays a big role in whether they get hired or not. I am willing to take someone who doesn't match all the criteria to a T, but has a good attitude. Exactly. I would do the same thing. These jobs usually are 120K plus. Instead of explaining your job, so the next one, instead of explaining your task in a resume, make bullet points of your tasks. It says examples. Don't say I stocked shelves and helped customers and tried to sell credit cards and ran cash registers. Instead, say manage inventory, assist customers, upsold product add-ons. I will also say, when it comes to resumes, you always want to make sure that you are adding, you're showing what value that you bring to an organization. So if you're gonna if you're gonna say you're gonna manage inventory, you better say some results from that inventory management. If you're gonna say assisting customers, you better say some results of assisting those customers, of upsold product add-ons. How much value were those product add-ons? If you're gonna be saying that, so that's my addition, my 2 cents to that. So some jobs require a lot of different tasks, and you may know how to do a lot of things. When applying, tailor your resume and include the things that will make you a good fit for this job. I saw. So here's what happened. Right there's somebody who is building out this app where it takes your resume and it analyzes your resume, see how feasible it is for the ATS, for the automated tracking system, gives you feedback on your resume, and then it also compares it to the job that you are applying for and tells you what's missing on your resume, what's weak on there, what's strong on there, and then it can also track your job application history and even give you some potential interview questions. All right. So they reached out to me and says, "Hey, we're working on this. Can you take a look at it?" I was like, "I will certainly take a look at it." I was impressed. I was impressed. So there are tools out there. There are tools out there that are being developed to help you streamline the process. All right. It says example: if you are a server and trying to get into a sales type position, your resume should say informed customers of available menu items that fit their request, upsold add-ons, and pushed daily specials. It shouldn't say took orders and ran food to tables. That you see, and that's the difference between, so took orders and ran food to tables is the difference between not showing the value that you add versus informed customers of available menu items that fit their request, value, upsold add-ons, value, and push daily specials, value, value, value. Says because that isn't going to help you in the new role you are applying for, so it's better to leave it out because the computer system that filters the resumes may dispose of you. Says if you're able to get in contact with recruiters directly, that's even better. LinkedIn is a great option. You can also find most recruiters directly, direct email, and remember, most recruiters want to get the job because that's how they get paid. A lot of them will even give you pointers on what hiring managers want if you just listen to them. That is also very true. Recruiters will help you out. It says, if you lie to the recruiter, remember your lie. Most recruiters I have worked with take notes and send it to the hiring manager with your profile. Or novel thought, just don't lie.
Bruh.
Very often they tell the recruiter one thing, and when I ask, they forgot or slip up. Also, recruiters and hiring managers speak a lot, and these things do come up. So make sure to remain. And I'll tell you this: the recruiters, they're the ones facilitating all the interviews and stuff like that. So they're talking to the people on the first round of interviews, they're talking to the people on the second round of interviews, on the third round, and they're giving them different pieces of information throughout the way. And then in our system, at least, we're able to see what everybody's feedback was from their different rounds of interviews. So do not lie. All right, don't lie. As Jordan Peterson says, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. All right. It says make sure your resume is up to date, even if you fill out the correct information on your application. Most of the time when I sit with a candidate, what a recruiter hands me is a resume, not the application. That's a fact. I never see their application. I always see their resume, and I don't see the most recent or relevant experience. I always ask if it's up to date, but seeing effort was put into it and it is recent, it's a recent can make or break when I'm stuck between two candidates with similar backgrounds. Oh, that's a message right there. That is a message. Message. It's a message. It says, if the application requires a personality test, read the job description and take into account any attributes they list and make sure to pick the corresponding on the personality test that will get you through most systems. Ah, okay. If not, just think about the job and what ideal person would be. All right. It says, example, if you're not talkative and extroverted, but you're applying for a sales position, the ideal person would be talkative and extroverted in order to talk to people into a sale. So select that. If it's a management position, you know a manager needs to be strong, outgoing, and persuasive. Select those. But most job postings specify what they're looking for. Use the job description and the company's mission statement to tailor your resume to get through any filtering system. Please apply with appropriate email, with an appropriate email, something professional. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So let's go back to that one. Let's go back to that one. Please apply with an appropriate email, something professional, something professional. You know how dare you question my email?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
So don't be applying with the email address bossbabe1994 at gmail.com, right? Don't be applying with tech pookie in the house 2006, right? Don't be applying with those emails. Nope, don't do it. Have it professional. First dot last name at gmail.com or something like that. All right. So tips for the interview. Anything you say or do around this is big. All right. This is big. Very important. Anything you say or do around or to a recruiter or hiring manager will be taken into account, even if it's not part of the interview. I've seen people who had a chance to get a job, right? They're on the brink of getting a job. And then at the very end, they said something that one person didn't like, and nope. You're out of there. You are out. Let's put it like this. All right. Every single interaction that you have with every single person who walks the planet of the earth is an interview process. Simple as that. Every single interaction that you have is an interview process. You're putting your representation out there. So everything you say, as the police say, just take the Miranda rights and apply it to everything. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So pick your words wisely. All right. So here are some reasons that this hiring manager of 7 years has not they have not hired people, right? Not following the instructions sent in the interview email, showing up to the wrong location when the address is written clearly in the email. Okay, now that is just bad. Showing up early before your interview time and demanding to be interviewing earlier. Where do they do that? Who shows up to an interview earlier and then say, hey, you have to interview me earlier now, right? I've had people show up for 2 p.m. Interviews at 11 a.m. and demand to be taken in at 11 a.m. Oh my God.
Bruh. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Who does that? Says, I will say this is usually the older crowd that does this and they think it displays they are eager for the job, which is a red flag. That is certainly a red flag. What are you doing? If the interview is set for 2:00 and it's in person, if you have to show up to a building, show up to the building around like 1:45. Even if you get there at 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m., sit in your car, sit outside, whatever, but go into the building at 1:45 and say that you're here for the interview at 2 p.m. with so-and-so and wait until they come and get you. If you showed up at 11, you just wait till 2:00, right? But you wait. Okay? All right, so let's see. It's also disrespect to my time and the time I set aside for you. That's a fact. It says your interview starts as soon as you are near the location or anywhere you may run into someone who works with the company. That is true. Examples: a cafe nearby or on premises. That reminds me of a story. That reminds me of a story that I heard from Anton Daniel. You guys know Anton, years ago, where he ran into somebody where and they were super duper rude to him, like really rude. I think they were driving, right, and the person was so rude. And he gets to the office building, and there's an interview that's about to happen, and he sits down for the interview. The person comes in, and they see Anton sitting as the interviewer, and the person's heart just sunk. That's why I said you should treat every single interaction with every single person who walks the face of the earth as an interview, because you don't know who they are, you don't know where you're going to run across them. So just be nice. Just be professional. Just be courteous. Totally agree with that, right? Being rude to staff, doormen, receptionists, security, etc. There you go. There you go. Remember the show Undercover Boss? It says, I've had candidates come in and yell at the receptionist. What? Because they are late. I've seen candidates at cafes nearby prior to interviewing being rowdy, rude, combative with someone taking their order. The last thing I want is to be responsible for hiring someone combative or having to deal with them myself. Vaping in the lobby while waiting 5 minutes until your interview. If you cannot control yourself enough not to vape prior to even having the job, that means you will vape on the job.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Cigarettes, the same thing. I try to stay away from hiring smokers because they need to stop what they're doing to go smoke all the time, and it's not productive and unfair to others who do not smoke and go outside every hour. We've spoken about this. That people, like, they'll go to the back entrance or the back exit, and they have like 3 breaks a day. That's supposed to be for 10 minutes, but it's normally like 20 minutes. They smoke like 3 or 4 cigarettes during that break, and they're always like hitting the back of the cigarette box for some reason, right? We spoke about that. It says refrain from smoking at the interview. Yes, you should refrain from smoking in general, but please don't smell bad or have very strong perfume on, and please don't smell like weed or cigarettes or anything of. All right, yeah. Don't show up to your interview high, right? Like that's basically this person saying, don't show up to your interview high. Now, here are the mistakes that this hiring manager of 7 years has seen during interviews. It says, assuming who you interview with will not be who you report to if you get hired. So assuming who you interview with will not be who you report with if you, and this happens too, right? You'll get interviewed by someone, and you think you're gonna be managed under somebody else, and then like while you're waiting for the offer, they switch it around, and now you're reporting to the person who interviewed you, right? So that's totally possible as well. So just be nice to everyone. That way, treat anyone you speak with as they can be your potential boss, right? Simple as that. Simple as that. I look young for my age, so very often people think there is an interview after me and don't ask all the questions. They should, or say something like, yeah, I have more questions, but I will ask the next person. Ask your questions. Ask your questions to whoever, because guess what? If you ask your question, the next person might not have that answer. There might not be a next person. You might not even finish that round. So ask your questions, okay? Ask your questions. Or being combative, rude, or condescending. Jesus. It says, assuming since you have done this type of job for another company is it's the same, and being very cocky, saying things like, yeah, seems easy. I already know this. Don't have any questions. Don't have questions for anybody, right? New company, new industry, they do things differently. So I always come in like an open book and looking to learn and see how I can add value. But you don't come in the first and say, oh, this is how you do this is how you do that. It doesn't work that way, right? Interviewers like people who ask questions. It lets us know that you are taking it seriously. I always say the biggest thing that you like, it is very, very important that you ask really, really good questions when you're interviewing, because it shows that you care, and it shows that you want to learn more about the position and the company that might be hiring you. So that can also make or break whether you get the job or not. All right. It says, assuming you have the job in the bag because you have a similar position prior, this is a new place with new people. They don't, I just said that, right? They don't know you, and you need to put forth the effort to show why they should go with you. You have to sell yourself. Simple as that. It says, complaining about the job before even being hired. Who does that? Who does that? When you're told expectations saying they are then just if you say that the expectations are unrealistic, just say, all right, this job is not for me, and ask it, like, do me a favor. If you know that you don't want the job, cut the interview short. Cut the interview short. Save my time. Save your time. Go get a coffee or something, right? And whatever. Like, let's not do that. It says, I get this a lot depending on the position I'm conducting interviews for, but those expectations are there to let you know from the beginning what is expected. It is also in the job description, right? It says, or complain about the schedule that the recruiter already went over prior to scheduling the interview. Oh my God. People do this? Do people actually do this? Being desperate, begging for the position, saying things like, please, I really, really need this job. That's why when I see people on LinkedIn begging for jobs, saying they're so desperate, putting desperate badges, I'm like, nah, bruh. As a hiring manager, interviewing takes up a lot of time, and so does training. I want to hire someone who sticks. Exactly. That's why we avoid desperate people, because I've seen this happen so many times. You really need a job right now, but you don't want this job. You just want a job. So then 3 months down the line, when you get the offer that you really want, now we done wasted a bunch of time, money, energy, and training you. Now we have to go through the whole process again to train somebody else. Nope. I want somebody who's going to be there for at least 3 years, right? 2 to 3 years. 3 years. I want at least 3 years, okay? Because anytime I've hired someone desperate, they quit because they are not considering what the job actually is. Instead of just focus on, I need the job, then realize it's not for them and they're in over their head, or it feels too entry level for them. That's why we say, oh, this person is overqualified for this particular job, and we don't go with them. I don't care if you're like, oh, I'll do it. I'm willing to do it for a lower pay, but you're not going to stick around once you get a better offer. I would rather get the person who needs that particular job to grow in their career instead of just getting you, right? Asking questions too in depth for the position. For example, if you're interviewing for a cashier position, don't start asking about the margin on products are and how the company is planning to navigate tariffs and inflation. Yeah, just take the damn money. Just take the damn money. All right. These are great questions, but raise a red flag when you are interviewing for an entry-level position or a position that has nothing to do with that. Bad mouthing other employers. Don't talk bad about your previous employers. Simple as don't talk bad about your previous employers. Simple as that, right? When they ask you why you left, just say that you were either, if you got laid off, say that they downsized, they sold the company, or if you got fired. I don't know what to say if you got fired, right? Figure that out. Especially if more than one employer you're bad mouthing, because it's most like it's how they say, it's not me, it's you. No, it's not them, it's you. All right. Assuming your age will speak for experience. Nope. If your resume says 30 years of experience, but I interview you and you're stuck in business practices of 30 years ago, that says things like, this is what we did before you were born. There you go. Experience doesn't make you good. Just because you did something for 30 years doesn't mean you are good at it. That deserves a message. That is very, very true. It says, not understanding the job. I sometimes have candidates that do not understand the position even after I explain it. And this is the main reason I pass on people. Ask questions, get clarification, be engaged. All right. All right. Another public service announcement. Do not mention any personal struggles. I'm gonna repeat. Do not say to the interviewer, I'm in a bind, Nate. Do not mention any personal struggles. For example, I'm a single mom. My husband died. My mom is sick. Guess what? Companies have to deal with this already for their own employees. So if you're trying to say, oh, I'm in this situation, that's why you should hire me. They're like, we have our own internal headaches to deal with. we're not going to go out there and get your headaches as well. So sorry. None of these help me identify if you would be a good fit for the job and feel like you're trying to guilt trip me. You're trying to ask me to have pity, right? Now, things that we should do at an interview, right? Interviewers are human. I'm very serious, but if you make me laugh or feel like you aren't my 39th interview of the day, it is oh crap. Oh crap. Miss Freckles, I need some help here. Monotonous. Monotonous? I don't know that word. But let's say, and you aren't my 39th interview of the day. It's a great feeling. Let's go with that. I am more receptive and willing to hire. Personality sells in any position, no matter what it is. You have to sell yourself. You have to be your biggest salesman. As he said, I'm a business man, right? So you are your own business. You have to sell the product that you're offering, right? Which is you. Ask questions. An interview works two ways. Get to know the company from your interviewer. Exactly. Let's see. It says, if you have any experience related to the job not listed on your resume, make sure you bring it up, even if it's just volunteer work or a hobby. Exactly. Ask your interviewer what would make someone a great fit for the position and tailor your resume to that. Tailor your answer to that tailor your answers to that. If your interviewer asks, if your interviewer ask your interviewer what they are looking for in someone to take that position, this is your opportunity to double down and sell yourself on the traits that they list. Get a feel for your interviewer or team. If it is a retail type setting, observe the type of people working there, and let them know.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
Oh, Miss Freckles. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
I think we're almost done with this one. I'm gonna read your super chat as soon as I'm done with this. But shout out to you, Miss Freckles. Thank you so much. All right. It says, get a feel for the interviewer or team. If it's a retail type setting, observe the type of people working there and let the interviewer know that you will be a great fit for the team. Last thing we want to bring up is conflict into our team. Study your interviewer. If you're given the name of your interviewer prior to the interview, look them up online. Definitely look them up on LinkedIn. Look up the company, research the company. You want to have a very, very well understanding of what the company does before you go to the interview, so that you can speak confident about the company. All right. A lot of them use LinkedIn and post quotes or post what they like to see in the workplace. When we were doing the ethical hacking course, right? Remember when we did the reconnaissance and we used a tool to find out about the company? I think it was called hunter.io. You can use that as well when you're looking for a job to find out the employees, their email addresses, how to get in contact with them, all of that good stuff. Cold email a recruiter. Say, hey, here's my resume for this position, and see what happens. Okay. Use that to your advantage. Mention the quote or author or recite a work style. This is what I did when I was interviewing for the people who were going to interview me. I looked them up on GitHub. I looked them up on LinkedIn, found their GitHub profile, and looked at some of their code to see if I can bring anything up with that. All right. Let's see. Use that to your advantage. Mention the all right. It says, when you're leaving, say nice meeting with you today. Insert the name of the person. If you call somebody by name, they are more likely to remember you. That is the tips, the advice that the hiring manager for 7 years has given us. That was a lot. I'm just gonna take this itself and chop it up into different sections, because that was very, very helpful, very, very informative. All right, let's wrap that one up. And Ferris, why certainly you can definitely call in. We can have a conversation. But I am going to, and the click. I did not. All right, hold on. Let me get the link. I did not copy it over to this chat. Let me do that. Let's do that. Pin. All right. So the link to call in is pinned to the top of the chat in case anybody wants to call in, and we can have a conversation. Ferris, feel free to click on the link. I am going to read the chat. It's a lot. We got Ferris calling. All right, let me get Ferris up here. What's up, Ferris? Get my headphones on. Give me a second. Let's see. Waiting to connect. All right, there we go. All right, we are good. I see Ferris is in the back. Let me see. Ferris, Ferris, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm doing good. Chat lives matter. I want to say that first of all.
For sure. So you said you wanted to share about some questions that you asked me because you like. All right, so I think Ferris is a great person to give some insight on
Mhm.
interviews because he had like 10 jobs at one time at one point. So while
No,
everybody's saying they can't get a job, they can't get a job, they can't get a job,
allegedly, allegedly.
Ferris was out there snatching up all the jobs, right? So Ferris said, y'all can snatch up all the girls. I'm gonna snatch up all the jobs. I'm gonna run it up, all right? So how did you do it, Ferris? How did you do it?
Personally, I like to do a little bit of stalking, a little bit of cybersecurity skills. So honestly, LinkedIn is a good resource, right? You can find out a lot about where they previously work, what they do for a living. You know their full name. You can go on Google, search it up. Who they vote for? They red? They blue? What state they live in? You can find some things to relate on and connect with, right? So maybe a little bit creepy, but if you want the job, you do what you gotta do. So an example I recently used, and this is for my current employer. He's actually the head manager. So you kind of mentioned earlier that you don't really know if that person that's interviewing you will be like your manager. So this guy is like basically above my manager. I think, he's basically the supervisor essentially. So didn't know it at the time, but I tried to have a conversation. So I saw on his LinkedIn he's trilingual, speaks Arabic, English, Hebrew. Uh, I saw that he had like a text in his LinkedIn. It said, and quote, "I like to win, but can graciously lose. I execute and deliver. I can be calm, and I raise all sorts of heck. I put out fires, and I love doing it." So I asked him, essentially, what does that even mean? Like, can you give me an example of when you did all those things in your work, and how does that interplay with your current role at this company? And he just paused for like 10 seconds, like thinking about it, because he didn't realize, he kind of like didn't expect it. And he was like, this is the first time anyone actually asked me a question based off of anything he put publicly, right? So it's something he personally connects to. It's something that probably relates to his work ethics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just had a conversation, we joked around, and that that was a gateway to like asking him more things like, okay, what can I do to like start on the best track or foot forward, essentially, if I do get hired? And how do you use like your different skill sets in Arabic and Hebrew with this current role, or how does that relate to your leadership? And then, just kind of having those different questions, right? So yeah, just try to have like a gateway to being personable. I'll say, even aside from questions, I'll say even the my resume, for example. My first round of interviews, what stood out to the hiring manager was, on top of my resume, I have like a Linux script, essentially. So I have like Faris at resume, then semicolon, then I have like sudo who am I dash c, so on and so forth. So that's like basically when you run that on Linux, it tells you about your computer. So that's how I
Mm-hmm.
start my professional summary with that Linux. And basically he was like, oh, that's different. That's like really personable, right?
Yeah, it's
So
creative.
little stuff like that, and having like a conversation on top of it helps. I mean, anything helps.
Yeah, because so somebody I was coaching, right, doing mock interviews with them, I kept telling them that you're not like, you sound robotic in your answers, and you're not like, you have to become more personable and more conversational. Conversational. Is that word? Yeah. Whatever. but but yeah, so it's like and like you were saying, those questions that you ask really, really important, because it sounds like you're saying like you in a way you ask, what would it take for me to be successful here, right? But in your own way, and just trying to build that connection with the person.
Yeah, I think just turning your interviews into a conversation just makes it
Mhm.
easier on everybody, right? They're also nervous. You're also nervous. You guys are both strangers. Might as well just have like a conversation like it's like an old buddy or you're at the bar or something, right? That just makes it easier. You have a good day and at least you could take something away from it, right? So that's how I treat my interviews. Yes, it should be taken seriously, but at the same time, I know what I'm here for. You know what you're here for. Let's just kind of let's just chill, vibe, and see where it goes. Essentially, I think that's the best way to approach it, to be honest. And then also turning the interview on them, right? Asking them questions. You know, hey, I saw that you guys had a breach or whatever a few months ago. How did you guys deal with that? And then what does that look like for your internal teams when something that serious occurs? It kind of puts them on the spot. And then they can either say, hey, that's confidential. If you are hired, I can tell you. Or they're kind of more on the defensive, right? So think of like offense, defense. Try to be more, make
But
them on the defense, essentially,
I
sometimes.
think with that question though, it's a good question because even if they can't answer it, they like they have it in like wow that they asked a really like thoughtful question that they actually did their homework and their research and they know what we do and stuff like that. So
Right.
not being able to answer the question means that it's a good question. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just try to have I'm looking at my last document for my last interview, essentially, which was back in February. I haven't done any since. But I have like a 3 page script on just questions I want to ask them. Then my technical notes, I have about 21 pages. For my behavioral notes, I have 12 pages. And then the first page has it's about 6 pages worth of like just general information and like a timeline on the stuff like that, the core process. So I have like I don't know, like how many pages is in total? 30, 40 pages just in preparation. And I just treat it like a script. I'm not going to remember everything. And they want you to be very detailed. They want you to have like different metrics and examples. So I just wrote it out, like put it in the STAR method, correlated to what they value and what they care about. Throw it in ChatGPT. It's still your story. You just kind of have ChatGPT like restructure it in a more organized way, and you just read it off to them like a story, and that's it. Like the work is done essentially, right? You don't have to do. You give them like a real story, and it's organized. What more can you? They could ask for.
Very true. Very true. How
Yeah.
do you navigate like panel interviews?
Panel interviews. I let them do the talking. So I often find with panel interviews, it depends on the team dynamic. Maybe there's one primary person that's having a conversation, or sometimes, and you just got to really read the room. Some person might be talking and someone might interject. So you kind of have to like take it. You have to like kind of like really be situationally aware, I would say. So if it's like one on one, if they treat it like a one on one, then sure, I'll treat it like a one on one. One person asks, then the next person asks. I treat it like a one on one interview. But if someone's like interjecting each other, I kind of see it as a red flag because that kind of correlates with meetings or tickets or whatever the case may be. I don't treat it necessarily too different. I just treat it more okay. Are they respectful to each other? And are they the last panel interview? I think they already had their mind set on hiring me. So instead of like really asking difficult questions, they're just telling me like we have unlimited PTO, which was a lie. But they're trying to convince me, and I just like okay, interesting. It wasn't. It was more of a conversation. It wasn't really an interview, but yeah, just read the room. That's the best thing you can really do. Read the room and adjust accordingly on the fly.
I would also say try not to focus on just one person, right? Have the engage with both people because let's say one person you like that one person ends up really liking you and the other person's like they don't because you didn't sell yourself to them. So you got it. Like you just have to make it a three-way conversation instead of a two-way conversation, or however many people are in there. Try to connect with
Yeah,
each of them on. So I mean, you have to research everyone who's going to be interviewing you. So try to connect with all of them.
yeah. I'll say just listen for what they're saying attentively and respond accordingly, and yeah, just have an open conversation that includes everyone. That's probably the best way to approach it. But yeah, all I'm gonna say, P2, is it's in one company it was a lie, another company it was true. You could take in like a month off; they were cool with it. So yeah, it just depends on the company. I think most companies it's definitely a lie though.
I mean, it's a it's a white lie, right?
Yeah,
Because um, it has to be like quote unquote within reason. Because like, you can't say I'm going to go on PTO for a year, right? You know what I mean? But it's
yeah. And
like,
they have their limitations.
but for me, I think, and it's probably like I see it like this, right? I spoke about it like a couple of months ago. I think it benefits the company more, especially in like the tech space, because tech is notoriously known for like not taking for not taking PTO, right? So
Yeah,
before,
just
when you would accumulate a bunch of hours, they would have to pay you out for that. But now that you have unlimited PTO,
Hmm.
then
What's this?
shout out to
Oh,
Magnetar.
it's only money.
Shout out to Magnetar. Let me bring JLo up. Got JLo calling it. What's up? What's up? What's up, JLo?
Uh,
What's good?
Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh
yep.
wow, that's crazy. All right, it's my first time ever doing this.
How
What
you
up,
doing,
man?
man? Good to talk to you.
I got
I
an
got
echo.
Ferris on
Let
the
me
line with me
turn that
too.
live off or the mute off.
All right, I got
Okay, got a
Ferris
little
on with me too.
podcast going on here.
What's up?
Yo, I think it's my first time like actually talking to you. Your
Honestly,
quality of work is like amazing.
appreciate
I
it,
love it.
man. You too, man. For sure.
Um, do you want to be on screen? Or you?
That's fine.
All right, let
Yeah,
me
that's
put you
fine.
on screen. I would put Ferris on, but he has his OBS thing on. Let me
Yeah, I don't have a
see.
camera. I just moved.
Oh, okay. You said you're in Seattle now, Ferris.
Yep, Seattle. I don't like it. It's cold. People are grumpy, and it just rains for just randomly.
Oh shit, I did that wrong.
Let's go with this one, and I will put JLo. All right, there we go. We got
Yo,
JLo in the building. What's
Okay.
good?
not much, not much. I'm just chilling right now. I was trying to study, but I was involved in the chat a lot. Talking to Miss Freckles and Roxy and everybody else, Magnetar.
Nice, nice. What are you studying?
I'm studying for my promotion test when it comes down to the military. Trying to make the next grade so I can go ahead and get some more money,
Mm.
more funds.
Whenever Magnetar hears government, his ears perk up.
Oh, I
He
gotta
is,
change. I got my setup. Go ahead.
yeah. Magnetar is my resident government federal employee advocate.
Ah,
Mm,
he surely is.
What was that about, Ferris?
a little. I'm not gonna say it. You got a string.
My goodness. So, did you tell me before, JLo, that you're gonna go into some tech field? Did you tell me that?
No, no. So I was thinking about going into tech um, as like a alternative into basically an alternative instead of doing what I do only in the military because the military is not forever, and I figured there would be a good way to like maneuver and like get into the civilian sector
Gotcha,
whenever I decide to
gotcha.
get out.
Is that
Do
something you still got on the
you?
table? Oh, go ahead, Ferris.
No, I was going to ask, like, do you or are you able to get a security clearance? Because I think that would be very useful when you go to the civilian sector. Plus,
Yeah.
they pay the most, to be honest.
Yeah, with me being in the military, I already have a secret security clearance right now, so it shouldn't be hard. I think after you've been out the military for like maybe 3 years or 2 years, you just keep that security clearance, or maybe it doesn't expire until 6 years. I think I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of
Okay.
government contract companies like, oh, you gotta have a security clearance, you gotta have a security clearance. So there's a lot of jobs, but a lot
Mm,
of people they let their security clearance lapse, and the companies are not like the ones who are going to sponsor you for it. So when you have it, it just makes it a lot easier for you to.
for sure.
I would say, well, how much longer do you have in the military?
So with me getting that assignment to Japan, is they had me extend for 3 more years, to take it. I'm fine with it though, because it's overseas, and that's what I've been waiting for a while.
Cool, cool.
A
That
while.
means you're gonna get some Japanese basketball game videos coming out soon.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, I've been looking into the league that they have out there. This is like the B League. That's what it's called. Doesn't mean like it's like the equivalent of a G League. It's just called B League, and so I'm trying to see if I can actually get involved in there. First of all, I feel like I gotta learn the language because they are very specific about who they let in into their culture, into their groups and whatnot. And so I'm definitely trying to make sure I learn and utilize my skills when it comes down to learning languages to get involved.
Yeah, there was a company that I was working for where we were developing some software for some Japanese telecom companies, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're so like a very respectful tradition type stuff, like bowing and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see that.
So one thing I would say though, like, because you said like at least 3 years, start planning that out now and saying, okay, how can I take advantage of my security clearance when I eventually do get out? What fields should I be looking to go into? What roles
Mm-hmm.
should I be looking to go into? Things of that nature.
Yeah, I was thinking that the only thing about it is, and I'm sorry if my mic is not good. I'm using my
You're fine.
headphones. I don't
Are you good?
even get on here. But but I would say that yeah, I was thinking about that, but then they gave me the assignment for Japan, and I was like, all right, well, that means 3 more years in the military. And by the way, I'm in the Air Force. I know Magnetar had put in there that I'm in something about Army, but I'm not in there. But yeah, I would like to be able to get to 10 years because then they can go ahead and kill all of that college debt, and then when they do that, I'm able to just maneuver however I want to. I can just be in 10 years, and I can just continue to move how I want to move and grow. Maybe stay in. I don't know. So that's why I was on the fence with learning tech stuff or not, and so that's why I would tap into your channel. But then I was focused on other things with me having another job and trying to continuously put videos out. Then they decided to give me that assignment. So now I'm like, all right, well, I know I'm going to be in the military for 3 more years. So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit more with that and then stay with my YouTube stuff.
How do you about your YouTube channel? Like, what's the process for that? Like, are you the one who's going to the games, recording it, things like that?
Yeah. So I go to the games and I'm really known around the areas that I try to go to. I was at Indian Hills Community College and I was over there recording a lot and I was like the basketball video guy, videographer, video producer, and that's when I kind of learned more of my skills and took a college class for video production. And then after that, I went to Coffeyville Community College where they didn't really have a program for it, so I wasn't going to college for. I was going to college for Associate of Science, which I did get. That's why I have 3 degrees. But then I went to Tennessee Wesleyan University, recorded a little bit, did an internship there, got my bachelor's in communications, focused on media production. So nonetheless, like I'm able to just go to these games and get more of a feel and get involved with the athletes and not be a traditional news outlet or people who just broadcast the games and talk about it and show only highlights. I show full full highlights of the game. I record the whole game, and I'm the only person doing it. I create my thumbnails. I am really involved. Yeah, I went to Coffeeville in Miss Circles. uh, but yeah, that's in Kansas. People that don't know.
That's awesome. So, and is it like, do you end up having like an agreement with the school, or you just like, oh, I want to do it, or
hmm
like, so yeah,
so
yeah, go ahead.
good. Oh well, we said it at the same time. So no, I just go to the games, and most of the time they just let me in free because I'm in South Dakota. Like most kids aren't really getting recorded like that out here. I mean, honestly, it's gotten way bigger and way better out here. We have a lot of athletes that are getting the D1 offers, but more of them are more regional. Like they're getting the offers in Colorado, Wyoming, uh, North Dakota, and Iowa, and South Dakota, of course. Most of those schools are, recruiting these kids, but I just go to the games and they allow me to be able to film and make the edits and get more involved with the kids, come up to them, get on the court to record them coming up out of the lineups. Well, for like when they call and announce the starting lineups. Yeah, I'm able to go out there and it has allowed me to be a lot more personable, develop my skills when it comes down to communication, and to be able to just develop more of a passion for helping athletes more than I have before.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, like I see a lot of passion going into the quality of your video, so I
Yes,
always
sir.
enjoy watching them.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
For sure.
Appreciate you watching your stuff too.
Appreciate it, man. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Uh, so about my stuff or about the topic at hand?
Anything?
I guess I'll talk to the topic because we'll keep it a little bit more about the topic. I don't want to derail the show too much. Derail.
Sorry.
Um, but yeah, no, I would say when it comes down to filling your last interview, a lot of people like to smoke before they go in, like, and I'll speak to that. People smelling like weed and stuff like that. It's not a good look, especially since I won't be talking too much about the racial aspect, but if as a black man, if you come in with dreads and you're trying to get a job and you didn't come in with your hair clean, you didn't come in with the right smell per se, then it's not going to be conducive. No, it's not going to be the right fit. You're not going to display. Um, you're not going to be a representation of what the company wants to bring in. So that is never going to help. If you don't work on your communication skills, if you're not working on your the websites that you are posting on, your social media presence, you're just not going to, be a good fit for the company more than likely. I always tell people, especially like when it comes down to recruiting, if you want to get, and this kind of does tie in to the interview aspect, but if you want to get recruited, then it is best to try and go ahead. J Ben, my bad. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Um, but yeah, um, no, if you want to get recruited, then it is best to put yourself out there and get on websites. You may not be ranked. These coaches may not know you, but what they can see is your social media presence. They can see your highlight videos. They can see your huddle. They can see a lot of things that shows what type of player you are, and they can even tap in on the random games that you might be in to see your attitude, see your demeanor, how you're interacting with your coach, how you're interacting with your own teammates. These type of things matter. And although, for jobs nowadays, they're not looking at athletes and being like, oh yeah, this is the type of player you are on the court. That may not necessarily matter, but when it comes down to college coaches, trying to recruit you, or even businesses trying to not businesses, um, college scouts looking at you, then all of that matters, and it will reflect how they view you. And so it's gonna be the same way when you look at it from an interview aspect. Like they're not gonna be like, yeah, we want this person, and how do I put this? They want this person because I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I was going with
I mean,
that.
they want you to be a good cultural fit, right? Like,
Yes,
they don't want you to
absolutely.
come to the team and because especially with like college teams where they're cycling players in and out, in and out, in and out. Like
Absolutely.
nowadays, like 1 to 4 years, right?
Hmm.
So like they don't want you to come in and disrupt the whole team because they also drop you and you lose your scholarship and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yep.
you're totally right. It's basically the same thing. Like you have to sell yourself. You have to be a good cultural fit. You gotta show that you care. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Yeah, man.
what you were saying was like what reminds me of like it's you're not gonna show up to an interview to the store selling Jordans and whatever clothes versus like the way that you show up to try to be a salesperson at like Louis Vuitton store.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
the place that like know your audience, know your environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would agree. I would agree. Um, but you always got to show up. So whether you're going to an interview, whether you're getting recruited, no matter what it is, even if you're going into a job that you already have, can't get too comfortable, and you have to definitely be able to show up at any time, any place. Um, almost sounds like the Air Force motto sometimes, but but no, you just got to be able to show up and be able to showcase what you can do, and even though you most of it is just talking when it comes down to interviews outside of you like maybe showing your portfolio, you just have to be able to be there and be ready for the opportunities.
Facts. Yep, definitely. Ferris, you got anything to say in the back there?
No, I just had a question for JLo.
For sure.
So you're in the Air Force. I know it's like one of the most technical parts of the DoD. Are
Mhm.
you able to like switch to like a technical or IT role within there? Because that would definitely be pretty helpful. I mean, I was planning to go to the Air Force myself for a cyber role.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, to answer your question, they do have those type of jobs. I would say those type of jobs are probably more so. No, they're pretty much in every branch. I think with how ours is structured, I think the Space Force might be a little bit better for what information or IT is. I guess the equivalent of IT is here. But most of the time when I'm watching what they do here, it's more hands-on working with a comm issue. Oh, these computers are down. This is down. Go fix this. How do you troubleshoot this? And it's almost like you're not really doing the coding like Tech Coach Ralph does. You're not doing something that would be maybe of more value. Granted, it's valuable to people who have problems with their internet, all the communications stuff that we have going on the base. But I would definitely say that you could probably find different routes or different jobs outside of the Air Force specifically. That's not to say anything bad about the Air Force, but yeah, I just think that that's what I have seen from my perspective.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's all the questions I had.
Yeah, man.
Dope, dope. Well, it's awesome. I appreciate you, Jello, popping up.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I'll go ahead and hop out, and you can go ahead and continue your show. And appreciate you, man. All the videos you make and all the content you put out. And every time I see you put out something, I'm like, dang, I need to go ahead and get back to it. Like, I I was consistent for a while, and then they hit me with a whole bunch of training that I had my second job at the airport, and then they hit me with a whole bunch of training stuff that I had to do for the Air Force. And now I got a study for my promotion. They gave me this assignment. It just hit me with a lot. So right now I'm like, I'm gonna get back to the videos when I can, but I gotta study for this test.
Yeah, especially like with what you do, I can only imagine that because you have to record it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get it onto the computer to edit it, and then the whole YouTube process of like upload, thumbnail, title,
Yep.
description.
Yep.
I have your email. I'm gonna hit you up and show you something soon.
For
Still working on it,
sure.
but I'm gonna hit you up.
Okay. Okay.
Should help you with a big part of that. So
Yeah. Hey, that sounds
dope.
good to me. Yeah.
All right, JLo, take
All
care.
right.
Appreciate you calling
Thank
in.
you. All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right. That was J-Lo on the track. Shout out to my guy J-Lo on the track. I'm gonna read all the chat. Ferris, feel free to stay and jump in if you have any additional insight to share. But feel free. But I have a lot to read. So that's the Junior before you went to Bible study said we done killed the last chat, so this might be a good thing for Miss Freckles. Let's see. Ferris had said, okay, see you got exploited. Here says, I'm number one right now, even if it's only for the moment. Then Ferris took it away. Ferris has got to take what we deserve. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Jenna had said, we thought we lost you there. I was like, what just happened? The thing just popped up saying, oh, it's disconnected. I'm like, oh, come on. Let's see. Ferris said they got him again. They got me. Says, I never been top 3 on the leaderboard until now. My super chat points went away. That sucks. That sucks. Let's see. First, we back, and that's when Junior had to hop off for Bible study, giving Miss Freckles the opportunity to win. Let me see how the scoreboard is going right now. Whoa! What just happened here? Ferris is number 1. J-Lo is number 2. J Ben is number. Miss Freckles, how'd you let J Ben overtake you in such a short amount of time? What just happened here? What just happened here? All right, let me keep going. It says, let's see. So at the time, Miss Freckles still won the leaderboard, but times have changed. Ferris says Workday is confirmed to age discriminate and filters people based off age. I never heard of that. Okay. We got Don in the. What's up, Don? How are you doing? My guy Don, always working on something. Don has been going crazy with the Google VO3 text to video generation with voice. It's going to be super duper powerful. It's going to be super, like Don is, I'm telling you, really, really cool stuff. I'm gonna check with Don. Maybe on Thursday I will show some of the videos he's produced with Google VO. Amazing stuff. Let's see. Jana says you definitely won. Not that was the past, that was the past. It's not looking good for Miss Freckles right now. Ferris says I allow referrals only do it for people I mentor or worked with in projects or that's how I am too, Ferris. Like I have to have like either worked with you in the past or I maybe I coached you and I see your work ethic and I mentored you and then I might give you a referral, but if I don't know you, sorry, ain't got nothing for you. Ms. Rico says, I'm a sore loser now. I mean, being in fourth place, if you're not first, you're last. But if you're fourth, I don't know what to tell you. Fair said, I stop referring people now if they don't have the right mindset. That's a fact. Like people who complain, I'm allergic to people who complain in the first place. But if people who complain, I'm like, oh, not getting my referral. Let's see. Miss Rico says that's the only way to do it. This is how we do it. You guys remember that song? Do you guys? All right. Was that Montel Jordan? This is how we do it. Do you guys remember the song? This is how we do it. Montel Jordan. I think that was probably before you were born, Ferris. I'm just saying. I think Montel Jordan. This is how we do it was before you were born. Might have been before I was born. All right. Let me see. What year did Montel Jordan? This is how we do it. Come out. Okay, no, I was 11 years old. 1995. This is how we do it. 11 years old. All right, shout out to me. Hey Ferris, how old were you in 1995?
Can't confirm or deny that.
All right. He was unable to. He was top secret classified. Let's see. Ferris had said to Ms. Freckles, "I feel like if we refer the wrong person, it can come back against us in this market." I don't want somebody being I want to be the reason that somebody doesn't like. What if you refer somebody, right? And you give them you say, oh, like this and that, they're good, they're and everything like that, and then they leave in like 6 months. That makes you look bad. Now they're gone, and you're at the company and looking like you made us waste a bunch of money hiring this person that they didn't even stay. That's why I'm afraid to do it. J-Lo agreed. Let's see. J-Lo says to Miss Freckles, "You're number one to me. Paid no mindsets the last three." I guess so. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. Miss Freckles says, "Oh, for sure." And then you cannot defend your own name when that happens. Your judgment will be forever questioned. Yup. They're like, why are you even friends with the person like that? You know? It says most people still have ass resumes in 2025 is crazy. That is true. Ms. Freckles got it back for them for a moment. Ferris had said, some people expect a good word is more powerful than their competency. Like, I can't save you if you can't answer things correctly.
Bruh.
You know how they say, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. You did your part, right? But the thing is, when you do your part and then they embarrass you, it's like, do I want to put myself in a position to be embarrassed? Me personally, I do not want to. I don't want to be in that position. You gotta hold your own. You gotta hold your own. Let's see. Miss Freckles says is Ferris in the Discord? Send people who need resume help my way. I have a recruiter who helps with that specifically. Ferris had disappeared off Discord for a good about 6 to 8 months. I'll send him I'll send him a link if he wants to join. First, want to join the Discord?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll send you the link.
Appreciate it.
JL says, "What's crazy is that when I was in the middle of typing, you can't win this one thing. I accidentally sent the message." Let's see. Mr. said, "No way to fake it till you make it in the tech industry." Can you fake it till you make it? Well, I'll say this, right? With AI, it's a little bit easier nowadays to fake it till you make it because I'm telling you, like, this vibe coding got me feeling like a full-fledged developer. But that ain't it. But it's for the most part, depending on the job that you do, you really can't. Even with the help of Devin and stuff like that. Because even with Devin, I'll tell you this. Even with Devin, I was using Devin over the weekend, and you have to confirm. Like it tells you everything that it's gonna do, and you have to confirm it, right? So if you let's say you just have number one, it's gonna be hard to get Devin into a workspace if it's not allowed because it has to connect to your GitHub repo and stuff like that. But number two, you can't even if you're paying for it on your own, you can't afford for Devin to do your entire job for you because it's going to be pretty expensive. Like you're going to be spending like $100 a day on that, and you still it's still under like your name saying you're saying yes or no if this is to do this or not, and if it messes up company code, then like so you can't fake it all the way. You can get far enough. Go ahead, Ferris.
I would say you probably won't even get that far, to be honest, because in interviews now, at least with AWS, for example, they're able to like see what processes are running in the background, so it wouldn't even get that far. And then depending on the company too, based off the questions they ask you, because AI hallucinates, if you steer off the questions, then you're eliminated off the bat. So that's like two ways they do it: processes or the questions they ask you.
Ferris, did you ask me about Bedrock on Sunday?
Yeah, Bedrock, Party Rock. They have so many names.
Funny enough, right? So right now at work we have like our hackathon week, and like they're integrating more AI into our systems. And so like yesterday, one of the people on the hackathon team. They're like, "Oh yeah, we use Bedrock for this stuff." I'm like, and I had never heard of Bedrock before, but it looks like it's kind of like a access to a bunch of different large language models that with like
Yeah,
one endpoint, like kind of like a does Hugging Face do that? I think.
it's kind of like
Um,
Perplexity, I guess. It
mm,
just has like a bunch of them combined, right?
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I like. It's funny because you had mentioned it on Sunday, and then I found out that we actually use it on Monday, and that I have access to it. So I was like, "Oh, get out of here!" So I'm gonna be playing with that.
Yeah, I gotta start learning it myself. It's mandatory for me.
Nice,
But it
nice.
looks interesting.
Uh,
I mean, a lot of big companies use it.
yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see where are we at. Paris says I'm not retired. I'm broke. Let's see. Easy way to get a job is to date the recruiter and HR at the same time. Uh, Ferris after dark already. Ferris, I think you're ready to get back to your channel, right? I think you're ready to get back to your channel.
Yeah, I'll make some content again.
Roxy says 100. JLo said yes. They should. People have some crazy email. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let's see. I've been here but quiet. Ms. Rogan says, I use nepotism to my benefit. Look, you have to do what you can, right? Use every tool to your advantage. If you know somebody and you can do the job, then because like Ferris was saying earlier, just because you have a referral doesn't mean you're gonna get the job. You still need to show that you can do the work. Now, there's those ultra levels of nepotism, like where the CEO's daughter or the CTO's daughter or son, they get like an internship or they get some type of job there, but they're not gonna put like the heavy level code into their hand just because they're the CEO's daughter, unless they're qualified for it. You know what I mean? Ferris had said it's professional, but like an alias temp email. What do you mean by that, Ferris?
Oh, I think you skipped one. I gave like an example. So usually for my emails, I put
Uh,
the company name at whatever slmail.me. So I use like an alias. I don't use like my actual email.
let's see that one. Maybe it didn't go through because it's a email address. But yeah, so say it one more time. I was looking for it. Say it one more time. How do you do it?
So there's a service called Proton Mail, and you can set up like alias emails. So you just make like an alias based off the website you're on, and then it forwards you the email. So that
Oh,
way, I never actually give out my email or phone number. So it would be like job at slmail.me, for example. So then
mm.
I'll just interact with the recruiters and stuff. It's just a way for me to avoid one, scams, because there's a lot of job scams out there or ghost jobs. And
Yeah,
then two, companies don't really need my personal information. They can use that email to like
true.
go find me on other social medias maybe. So just use an alias.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Freckle says my biggest pet peeve is having more than 2 interviews and not getting picked for the position. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, some people go up to like the fourth round of interviews and then they don't get picked. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. Miss Freckles says the golden rule. I changed the golden rule, Miss Freckles, to life is an interview, right? Every interaction that you have, it could be an opportunity, right? So Ms. Freckles says entitlement is real. I think she was referring that to when the person has an interview at 2 and they show up at 11, and they want the interview to be happen now. Ferris, I said vaping is crazy. My coworker did that and had to report it. You reported your coworker?
Yeah, I had to.
Don't
They were
don't
just
don't don't
vaping.
out yourself.
They were just vaping.
So they're sitting at their desk
I,
vaping.
yep, yep. Two of them, and I'm just like, I don't smoke, and I don't like any form of smoking. So I was like, yeah, not around me, man. Go do that shit outside.
So you're working in the office?
Oh no, this was like at my last
Oh,
job when I did all those after hours. Yeah, it was at that job. I was working on site. It was in Oklahoma. Yeah. So
so by the way, because you did move, right? Do you prefer Oklahoma?
wait, what?
Do you prefer living in Oklahoma than in Seattle?
No, Oklahoma is. I can't talk about it. It's not after hours, man. Oklahoma is a battleground state. I mean, there's questionable activities at any corner and street. It's not that bad, but let's just put it this way: I have a clean driving record. Never got a ticket in my life until I went to Oklahoma. That's all I have to say. So
Hilarious. Mr. says for now, the wait for what I do now was well worth it. First is to be honest. It's is it okay to discriminate smokers? It's their choice, not like it's a race or gender. Um, so I'll say this like when when I was working at for the city, they had a no smoking policy. Now, how well do people adhere to it? I don't know. And at my wife's last job, they gave you a discount on insurance if you didn't smoke. They didn't have a policy that you can't smoke, but they gave you a discount on your insurance if you didn't. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say it's, I wouldn't say it's discrimination. I don't know. I mean, it is quote unquote discrimination. Is it like an illegal discrimination? I don't think it is because that's being a smoker is not a protected class, right? So, yeah, smoking is a major red flag, definitely. Um, let's see. It all worked out. Mr. Echo says, I think so. It distracts from productivity and possibly makes others sick around them, all for the sake of a legal habit. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that. I think a company can do whatever they. I think a company should be able to do whatever they want, but um, I think it would be great for interviewers to use AI to help summarize interview interaction to help candidates improve their skills. So, um, let me address that. So we use AI to for example, Ms. Freckles, when I do like the Google Meets, right? And I have the AI assistant to take notes and stuff like that. Um, Companies use that. There's different tools that use that and take notes and summarize the interview and stuff like that, right? I would be opposed to sharing that with the interviewee because, and I'm going to tell you what happened, right? So I was helping somebody get prepped for a big interview, and like we were working on it for a long time, and then they did the project, did the interview, and when the company finally got back to them, says, "Oh, we're gonna go with somebody else," and they gave them feedback, right? My immediate reaction is the reason why I say companies don't and shouldn't give feedback because they gave feedback, and I was like, "That's not true," and I'm not even the one that interviewed, right? So, so I'm like, I don't think companies should give feedback because then like the person is just going to want to defend themselves, and at that point, there's nothing they can do about it. But why put yourself in that position to? Because some people they will fight you, they will like and they will even try to sue you if you give feedback that they disagree with. So it's better to just not give. They just say we want somebody else with maybe more experience or whatever, or we just want somebody else, and you're not getting selected. While feedback would be nice, but people can't handle feedback the same way people can't handle criticism. They can't handle accountability, all that type of stuff. You letting somebody know that you're lacking in this area, they're gonna challenge it, and what as a company, why do you want to put yourself in that position? So like that my immediate reaction was, that's not that's this is the reason, right? I'm like, okay, that's the reason that I don't get feedback because now when I'm doing mock interviews, I will give you honest, direct feedback because I'm doing a mock interview. So I'm able to tell you if I was interviewing you for real, this would be going through my mind. But companies, I don't believe they should do it because of what I just said, like of my immediate reaction to somebody that I was helping get feedback. Any thoughts on that first?
Yeah, it's just a liability. I mean, you kind of nailed it on the head. Yeah, just overall, just all around liability because someone can say, "Oh, they're discriminating," or whatever the case may be. And sometimes it just, depending on the organization, they can't. Maybe it's against their HR policy, or once they have their meeting and they put their notes, they don't have access to it. So even if they had the feedback, they can't access it. It's just something for HR. So I would say the best thing to do is like at the end of the interview, if you're pretty confident, what I would do typically is ask them, um, I'm just going to paraphrase, like I have it in my notes, but something around the lines of, based off of my performance today, what do you guys think about me or whatever the case is, something like that, just so I can gauge if they're feeling me, if they're not feeling me, and just kind of ask them for feedback on the spot. Definitely not after the interview. So just kind of like, hey, or maybe I ask them, can you guys give me some, can I contact you on LinkedIn afterwards, whether I get this job or not, for mentorship? So just kind of frame it that way. And then that's what I did. And then actually one of the jobs, he gave me the job. And then I left 9 months later. But I still text him and we're cool. And he gives me some advice and mentorship. So some will be your mentor if you just frame it in that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think like when people ask me that type of question, like, "Oh, can I get some feedback?" I always say that like my out is, yeah, I have to go back and process and look at my notes and stuff like that. But we're gonna provide the feedback to the recruiter, and the recruiter will get back to you. Like I avoid that question like the plague.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I mean, with the wrong person, it could just blow up in your face. So, yeah.
Yeah, because like like whether because some people they'll interview great and I like them, but I still won't give them any feedback on like on the spot.
So,
You know.
if they were to ask you, like, hey, regardless of what happens, can I seek mentorship for you if I get the job or not? How would you respond to that, or would you be open to that if it's framed that way?
Um, would I be open to mentorship? I don't. I don't like. I don't like them asking that question. Just thinking about it
Mm,
because that puts me like in a. I don't mind if they were to add me on LinkedIn, right? So if they say, "Oh, do you mind if I add you on LinkedIn?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, go for it," right? But if it's like
mm-hmm.
if it's specifically to ask for mentorship, um, so my first thing is like, why should I mentor you, right? Like I have a life, I'm busy. So, but then if I say like no, then I seem like I'm the bad guy. Um,
Mm,
so
I,
I don't know.
yeah, I guess that's a tough one. Uh,
Like if they say
hmm,
like because the thing is they could just send a invite or whatever they call it, a connection request on LinkedIn. You don't have to ask me, can I like, but send me like if you connect with me on LinkedIn, you send me a message, then I'll respond to you. But I just think you put the person in an uncomfortable position to ask them for something um, in an interview, right? Like you're asking them for something outside of the company in an interview, you know? Because for
yeah,
me, it's kind of like if in an interview they
I would
say,
say not
"Hey,
like you're actively like, I don't know, one-on-one coaching, not like that. More like, hey, I'm working on this. what's your thoughts on this network diagram I just did? Do you see any like pain points or whatever? Just like quick feedback, asking some questions, career direction, sort of mentorship. Like once in a while, every few months, I'll be like, "Hey, just pop in. How you doing? Blah blah. What you think about this certificate or this direction? That sort of thing.
Yeah,
More casual, like
I would say add them before the interview because you know who's going to be
mm,
interviewing you, right? That way, you send them a connection request, and like I don't send people connection requests before I get interviewed. Like I'll go and look at their information, but I won't send them a connection request because I think like I rather like I don't want to be like a public LinkedIn stalker, so I'll stalk like the same way that you say you stalk. I'll do it that way, but
yeah.
um, I don't. I don't try to. Me personally, I don't try to connect that way. But and if they were to ask me for like mentorship, I don't know how to answer that. Like if they ask me if they can add me on LinkedIn, I'll definitely say yes. But if they ask me for something in return, then I'm a bit hesitant about that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would just kind of come down to like the interview. If it's more conversational, it's like a vibe sort of thing, or
Yeah,
just like feels right in the moment. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, just interesting to get like the perspective of a hiring manager versus someone that's an applicant, right? So
yeah. And
just
for
like
me, like I'm in the hiring pipeline. I'm not like I'll do like certain parts of the interview, but I'm not like the hiring manager because I don't want to really be on management like that. But
mm,
it says first, my interview question makes me seem like a stalker, and hiring managers like it. Yeah, I do like what you mentioned earlier about looking into their profile, into their background, and asking them about this and that and this project that you worked on. That I like that because it shows that they actually research you so that they can be prepared for the interview. So I do like that. Let's see. Mr. Circle says to JLo, agreed. I'm one of the people who gets sick and can't concentrate, so work from home is great for me. I like work from home. Did they let you work from home at all? Or are you 5 days in the office?
me.
Yeah, you.
Right now it's at home, but I'm just close to the office.
Gotcha. Oh, so you're home, but so you're not in the office. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but
Uh,
eventually everyone has to return to the office. So
gotcha. So here's where you're elaborating. Check their LinkedIn, voting patterns, etc. I get a good baseline who they are and ask questions to turn the interview into a conversation. It's very smart. You're doing reconnaissance, right?
recon.
uh, let's see. I felt desperate once, and I knew in the interview I was not going to get the position. Facts. If it's a conversation and it's about them, people tend to remember more and likely to hire you if you remember you if they remember you more. Yep, totally true. There's some interviews that like I can't remember anything about it, and there's some interviews that I remember the person because they asked really good questions to me. For instance, people would like to talk, so ask questions to make them talk. Yep, like especially like when you said that you asked them a question that made them like think and said, "Oh, no one's ever asked me that question before." Um, like I said, it shows thoughtfulness that you really care about, or you seem like you care about the position because you could just be doing it just so you can get it for 3 months, but at least you're selling yourself, you know? Um, Ms. Freckles had said to you, oh no, that is 100 the best way to get them to remember you. Ferguson says, I also asked questions they didn't have answers to. Had to think, yep, that's a perfect strategy. Ms. Freckles says, be political in your answers when it comes to answering questions about negative experiences. 100% on that one.
Message.
Let's oh my god, so many chats. It says versus negative experiences are learning lessons and they're like hearing a victory story. Yep, that is true. It says the interview around onto them is perfect. Why are they a good fit for you? Yeah, that's a good point. Um, let's see. Says an interview is a two-way thing. Sadly, people don't treat it as such. Yep, like some people they take it like very one directional, but and I always say this in the interview, like highlight your accomplishments, highlight the value that you brought to your past companies and the value that you're looking to bring to this company, right? Always looking to what value, like you have to try to make them feel that if they don't hire you, then they're losing out more than you're losing out by like than you're losing out, you know. Let's see. Ferris says making jokes is a big thing. Make them laugh. If they giggle, they'll hire. You just gotta make sure. You just gotta make sure that the joke is good because if you tell a like something like joke
Bro, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
jokes can go left, so you gotta be careful. Like you gotta like it has to be in the moment, right? Miss Freckles had said in the super chat for $5. Thank you, Miss
I
Freckles.
appreciate you.
I was hired 8 months pregnant once, and they didn't know until I showed up for my first day at work. I was looking out for me. I am just hey, you did what you had to do, all right? You did what you had to do. So Miss Freckles says, "How do you spell?" Oh, man, I don't even know. It was like my. I'll DM it to you, Miss Freckles. I couldn't even say it. It was so hard. Monotonous or something like that. Um, Ferris had said maternity leave next month. Back. All right, Ferris. Like as I was talking and I saw that come in, or it says maternity leave next month. I was like, who Ferris done got pregnant? I'm like, what's going on, Ferris? uh,
Maybe that's the strategy, you know? You have like a little rotation every 9 months.
my goodness. Miss Echo says 1,000%. They were low key pissed. I hear that. There he goes. Monotonous. Monotonous? Oh, monotonous. Okay. I got it. I got it. Monotonous. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Thank you. See, I can thank Ferris live on air because he's right here with me. All right, appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see. Had to be. Ferris did my job for you. Plot twist. It's work from home, work while pregnant might be the new move. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Let's see. You got to do what you got to do. Yep. Ferris says, can he call in and give an example? And he sure did. He's right here on the line with me. It says, I worked until I had to be rushed to the hospital. That's not a good idea. Let's see. It says,
That's a good worker.
yeah, all right. Let's see. I didn't know you had a kid. How old? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. You know what? Jade on the track. Was that in? Was that March, Miss Freckles? Your the birthday. We had a whole song. We had a whole song for Miss Freckles' child. Um, created with AI. For the birthday song. I have a lovely. All right, now that she said that it's a girl, I can say yeah. We had a lovely song generated by AI for Miss Freckles' 9-year-old daughter. Let's see. Miss Freckles says chat lives matter. Let's see. Never creepy, just necessary for the bag. LinkedIn is a great tool for recruiting. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn nowadays, Ferris?
On LinkedIn?
Yeah, just on LinkedIn in general. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn?
I mean, it's like all social medias. It's what you make it. If you're watching degenerate content, that's all you're gonna get. Degenerate content. If you're looking for useful things, my LinkedIn is useful. I find free certificates. I find discounts. I find good information because that's all I look for. So it's what you make of it. You
Good
know,
point.
that's it's all tools. End of the day, right? Or they could, or you're the tool. It depends on how you want to use it.
Do you accept like random connection requests?
Uh, I would say so. Yeah, if they have like a good profile. If they have like if their profile is like pretty empty, no picture, they're in a random country. No, no, definitely not. But if it's like, all right, this person works, has a decent following count. They work in a recognized industry. School looks normal. Doesn't look like a spam or scam or whatever. Then yeah, I'll accept it.
Cool.
Could be a good network. Never know.
Nice. I I accept pretty much anyone who sends me a request, but then I don't know. Sometimes like on my timeline, I guess I'll call it. Some things are good, but then there's a lot of people who are reposting like Victim Olympic type stuff, and I'm like, oh god. But it does give me content too, though. So there is that. Let's see. Mr. Circle says I still need to reach out to help with my LinkedIn. You know what? I'm gonna build something for that. I'm just gonna build something, um, and then sell it. Let's see. Get on the track says those languages can help you tremendously to create a healthy environment for other cultures. I am deployed in the Middle East and have learned some Arabic. Shout out to that. Shout out to JLo. Let's see. Unlimited PTO is definitely a lie. We got Magnetar with the $5 super chat.
I appreciate you.
I was going to show y'all the resume, I was going to show y'all the resume the cybersecurity bootcamp wrote up. Let's do it in the Discord. I want to see that. Like every time I see a bootcamp resume, it is so bad.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Let's see. Too much rain makes me grumpy. It's about when you said you're in Seattle. Max says shout out to the promotion for JLo that he's working on. Says help him out. Did somebody say federal government? Mr. Only thing I know about Army is that they are difficult to deal with. But then JLo had corrected him, says he is in the Air Force, not the Army. Mr. says, being a civilian, I completely agree with you. That's what he said about that. Says, add AI to that plan for... shout out to my guy, Wave Nerd. Always working. Let's see. Air Force. Now we're talking. Look at that. You see, got Magnetar's ears perking up. Let's go. Mr. says, I hope he listens. I hope so too. Look, I'm gonna work on JLo. All right. I'm gonna help him out there. Says, do they still have the PDG test? Oh, I didn't see that. When JLo was up. It says NCO tests and CDCs. What? You went to Coffeeville? Miss Freckles knows about Coffeeville. Small world. I went to Emporia State University. Ferris says, not the weed. Got my guy J Ben in the building. Says, shout out to my guy Tech. Shout out to you, J Ben. Let's see. I have the Killmonger hairstyle. Good thing I in the private sector. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Where are we at? Miss Freckles has said Air Force is definitely the best option. I don't know anything about the military branches. If I could jump all the middle steps, I'd just go become a Navy SEAL, but I'd have to be able to jump everything, including like buds training and that whole however long there. I just want to go straight to being a Navy SEAL, but that's about it. Let's see. Magnetar had said you can go from one MOS AFSC to another if your ASVAB is high enough. You could also go from Army to Air Force altogether. A lot of acronyms that I don't know what they mean. J Ben says nothing much. Just left another stream. Stopped in to show love here while prepping to stream later tonight. Shout out to J Ben. Let's see. This is Coach, let me do what I want here, everybody. Let's see. My ASVAB was high enough to choose what I wanted, but my family talked me out of it. Oh, ASVAB. Okay, okay. I heard David Goggins talk about the ASVAB. Okay, I got it now. I got it now. It says when I'm here, leave the sad vibes in the closet. Funny. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Ferris says I will work on my AF. What's that?
Air Force officer, something test.
Gotcha. I don't know none of these military terms. Let's see. Let's see. Ms. Vega says that I rebuke pity parties, potty parties, pity parties, potty parties. They're all the same thing, right? Let's see. Let's see. Air Force age limits for officers 18 to 42. Let's see. Enlisted 17 to 42. Let's see. First, I got my master's. I can skip officer rank. Let's see. About when did you attend to Euphoria? Says manager says no, rank cannot be skipped. I think that's answering to you, Ferris, that you cannot skip the officer rank, unfortunately. Sorry, Ferris. Ferris, so I have to start at officer. Yep. Let's see. Miss Freckles says, now I'm showing my age, but who cares? I went in 2008. TCR is ice cold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see. It says I should be way higher than 75. Let me check where my leaderboard is at right now. Miss Freckles is in number 1 right now. Ferris is in number 2, and JLo is in number 3. See, look at that. Shout out to Miss Freckles. Reclaim the throne. Let's see. It says you and me both. Algorithm is sick. It says I will say it again. TCR is ice cold. I was just trying to motivate you, Miss Freckles, to get back to number 1, which you did. All right. Ferris says Google Veo is free for. Is it free? It's free for students? I didn't know that. I thought it was highly discounted. I didn't know it was free. That's awesome. Are you still a student, Ferris? Like, are you enrolled?
Yeah, it's free for till. No, I'm not a student, but I have a student email, so
that's a student to me. So.
Yep.
Awesome.
But it's free until end of 2026. So.
Oh, 2026. That's a long time. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Manager says, if you go to the Air Force, OTS will be a second lieutenant when you graduate. Okay, gotcha. All this military talk, I don't know none of it. Ms. Freckles says, okay, Ricky Bobby, I'm just saying, Ms. Freckles, if you're not first, you could be second, you could be third, you could be fourth, hell, you could be 10th. I love that movie. Ferris says, oh, that's 9 weeks. I will go that route then. Are you really gonna go into the military first? You're just saying.
I'm a back tracer, man. Do what I gotta do.
I hear that. Because geez, how young is everyone? Let's see. JLo was saying that I was thinking about it, but I'm not sure if I wanted to make the USAF as a career at the time. Plus, officers are always in meetings. They don't seem to do a lot of technical jobs. Let's see. I'm sorry. Let's see. It says, let's see. It's not to be conceited, but I know. That's hilarious. You guys are too funny. Let's see. Where else are we at? Let's see. Mangstar had said they're more like managers instead of in the trenches. We got Bozito Coding in the building. What's up, Bozito Coding? I got an idea for you, Bozito. Send me a message on Instagram. Or actually, though, send me a message. Also, leave me a comment because I'll be able to see the comment before I see the message. Oh, no, I should be able to send me a message on Instagram. I should see it. And I have an idea for you, Bozito. So hit me up on Instagram. I have an idea for you. JLo says, I respect them. I'm just hesitant to be one until around 8 years at least. It's always an option. Let's see. Let's see. It's so silly. Wave Nerd had said, companies are starting to demand you work or use AI. Have to learn prompting and how tools work. Yep, I see that in my real life every single day. Let's see. Ms. Rickle says, I think the nepotism gave me extra perks outside of the rest of the team. I may just keep zip it up, Miss Freckles. Shh. Don't. Some people, Miss Freckles, some people say too much. All right. So if you have any special benefits, you don't share it. That's why people should not share. Like whenever I see somebody says, "Oh, I found out the salary of this person and this," I'm like, don't share that information. Keep it to yourself. All right. Let's see. Where else are we? Mr. says, Japan sounds amazing. It is on my bucket list. You guys, Ferris, you ever heard of the game GeoGuessr?
Yeah, I played it once.
Yeah, we play it at work when we were on like our team building time. I'm so bad at it, but I've seen a lot of the world by playing GeoGuessr.
I think there's like a guy that does hacking. He's really good at it. Like they use it for some people that good at hacking use it. It's like it's crazy. There's like I did like a DoD CTF, so capture the flag, and basically they had one of the questions they had where they want you to get a Wi-Fi password based off of a picture of someone sitting in a cafe. So GeoGuessr would probably come into play there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy what people can do by just seeing a picture.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I have to look into that. But yeah, I suck at GeoGuessr. We got NC Worker in the building says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, NC Worker. Shout out to you. Happy to see you here. Let's see. It says Tech Coach Ralph. Someone is I see. I see, Miss Freckles. I see. Let's see. Where are we at? It says it's true, like pulling teeth and get feedback because most people on my team refuses to really apply and grow from it. It's very frustrating. I tell you, yep, that I don't give it because people when you give feedback, it can go left. So I'm like, you know what? If it's like feedback for a project that we're actually working on, then sure. But if I don't know you and I'm not gonna put myself in the position to get in some type of mess because of that, you know? Let's see. Where else are we? Oh my goodness. You guys are so silly. All right. I think we are just about done. It says, oh, Miss Freckles celebrates 4 months of membership. Shout out to Miss Freckles. One learns something new every day channel. Shout out to you, Miss Freckles. Appreciate it. Let's see. I think that is just about. JLo says, make sure you hit the like button. Everyone, please do. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Check out techcoachralph.dev. We're doing a lot of good stuff over there. We got Favor in the building, dropping in to say hi. Hope it was a great. I had Ferris with me. I had JLo show up. We had the stream crash and had to start up a new one. It's been a crazy night. We did not answer one question that I had set up, but I'm okay with that because I got Ferris here. And I had JLo, I had Miss Freckles, I had J Ben show up. So happy to see J Ben as well. Great stream. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see. Let's see. February. It was February. I thought it was March. Miss Freckles, you know, we're in 2027 by now, so 2025 was 2 years ago, so I forget. Let's see. Never liked LinkedIn. Favor says never liked LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn at a time, but now it's just so messy over there. Let's see, but it's a tool for sure. Wave Nerd says, I use LinkedIn to store articles or videos that have good information. Wave Nerd, I'm about to text you as soon as I get off the stream. We got Alan Wake in the building. What's up, Alan? How are you doing? I wanted to ask, I have a plan to switch careers from UI UX designer to cybersecurity. With all the knowledge about coding, it's zero. How the market right now with cybersecurity. You want to take this one, Ferris? You know way more about the cybersecurity market than I do.
Uh, Honestly, I haven't been applying for the past few months. So based off of like earlier this year, I I saw some statistics that said that cybersecurity jobs are declining. So I'm not sure if it's just because it's summertime or people aren't hiring as much. But I'll say it's a good industry to get into. There's always going to be a need for security, but I think you have to kind of understand it from a business operational standpoint, right? So you're not really making a company money, so they're not trying to have a big cybersecurity team. You're more of a fancy insurance policy for them, essentially. And sometimes some companies don't want to have the liability or responsibility of when something goes wrong, so they'll offshore that to someone in India or a managed service provider. So just really applying to those managed service providers is probably the easiest way to get in. You don't really need to know coding; you just need to be able to read and interpret what the code is doing, and then determine if it's malicious, not malicious. So I'll say cybersecurity is mostly theoretical. You don't really have write permissions or admin rights. You're really just read only 90% of the time. In terms of I do think entry level cybersecurity, at least security operations, can be automated, to be honest. It's a lot of redundancies typically and sanity checks. So I'll say kind of take an AI course or something, or um, look into compliance, understanding business operations, and yeah, just appealing to stakeholders. That's probably gonna be the best way. It's not impossible, but it's doable. I'm not sure if chat is working though,
If what?
but I'm not sure if the stream is working anymore.
Shows that's working for me. Why you
Yeah,
say
it looks
that?
like it's. I guess the comments. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I also say that I, I was on Reddit um earlier today, and one of the platforms that's used to, like, when you're using AI to build applications, it had said that, like, that their application was hacked. Not necessarily the website, but the application that was built for them. So I was thinking earlier today, like, I see a need for, so in my video yesterday I was talking about how with these different tools that gives like these smaller companies opportunities to get applications done. It kind of like levels out the engineering playing field, like who you have access to. But I do see a need for um, some type like cybersecurity professionals to do audits and stuff for like AI built stuff.
Yeah, I would say auditing is probably the safest, in my opinion, just because you can't really have an AI audit itself. It's going to be inherently biased, right?
Yep.
So just being an auditor, that third party, is always going to be pretty valid, pretty safe. But then that just means, unfortunately, it's really competitive to one, get your foot in the door, or two, you have to upscale to a mid level to senior level to really see a decent paycheck or uh, be able to become an auditor. I mean, they're not. I'm not sure, but most likely they're not going to hire someone with no experience to be an auditor, right? Very unlikely. So yeah, I think right now it's just a really competitive market. It's it's tough. I mean, also just whatever way you can get your foot in the door, and I wouldn't say job hop. It may seem like I'm a job hopper, but I'm not.
No, you
I
don't
keep
hop. You just take a bunch at the same time. That's not job hopping.
yeah. I don't drop hop. I would
You don't
say
let them go.
don't job hop, but definitely if you can, it's a fortunate position to be in. Hold all your jobs together, and then technically, with my 2 years experience, technically I have 5 years experience. And then when I
Good
do an
point.
application, I'm like, I have 5 years experience.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Very good point.
that
Yep.
just accelerates me a little bit faster on the timeline.
Because think about it, right? If you're working 2 8-hour shifts in a day, like you're doubling your amount of experience, like literally.
It's a video game. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Favor says those bootcamp resumes. I am a victim.
Bruh.
They are bad. They are so bad. Like, Mr. Chris says that defeats the purpose of a boot camp for resumes if they turn out bad, right? Well, a lot of people who go to boot camps, they don't have any experience in the field that they're trying to get into, so there's nothing really to put on the resume. So then, what happens is, which is unfortunate, is that the like whatever. So let's put it like this, Ms. Freckles. Let's say you are Ms. Freckles is not 35. I don't know how, I didn't do the math, but let's say you're 35, right? So, and you've been working for about 15 years, since 20 years old, but and let's say you were working in like legal, let's say as a paralegal, right? And now I want to get into tech. I'm going to go do a software engineering boot camp. And now the boot camp is going to write your resume for you. They erase your whole past 15 years of experience. And so now your job history starts off like right then and there, and it says that you so it looks like you've only been working for like 2 years now, when they can use your past experience and plug things in there to highlight what's related, like what can be relatable to whatever job you're applying for. So it's like, oh, this person, like what have you, like who, like what they put on there is not good enough to get a job, but they erase all the things that could have helped you potentially get a job. So that's why there's like, that's every single bootcamp resume that I've seen, that's how they come out. Let's see. Magnetar says, forget the resume. The entire bootcamp was a bad idea. Magnetar, you get one of these.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
JLo had responded to Magnetar. They still have those tests, PFE. The CDCs are still a thing, but they are only for most career fields, not all. Favor says they're never honest. They're not honest. They're not accurate. And honestly, most people, they don't really learn much from boot camps, and they spend a lot of money for those boot camps. Let's see. I think it's a qualification test. Definitely, yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Let's see. Ferris says XP Chasers. Let's see. XP score. You guys, let me see what the current score is. Miss Freckles is still number one at 150. Ferris is right there, and Junior came back. Junior's up there, number 3. What in the world is going? I wonder if he gets previous credit for previous streams to put you up there. I don't know. Let me see. Bozito says, in Brazil, everyone is a student. Let's see. Sorry about that. I was like, I'm just reading them. I don't know, but I did hear about the ASVAB from David Goggins. Let's see. What else? Junior says, we are still here. And I'm starving. And I gotta get out of here. Let's see. Bozito just messaged. All right, perfect. Thank you for the message. I'm gonna hit you up. Let's see. Junior says Thursday is right around the corner, and Junior is technically kind of tied for first place, but he's in number 3. Let's see. This is treason. TCR said the little said you're glossy. Let's see. It says dude was gone for 5 hours and he gets ranked. I don't know what happened. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's see. Says number one, learn something new channel. I try. I'm always trying. I'm learning something new. I'm sharing it with you guys. So, like I said, inside of the Discord, I'm gonna be looking to have you guys drive building vibe code, building an app. So, you guys tell me what you want to build, and I'll just follow the prompt that way, because I've been telling them to learn prompting for the longest time, and I haven't seen anybody show me any prompts that they came up with. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to annoy you into prompting. All right. Let's see. Because I ain't hating. I'm just saltier than the Pacific. Oh my goodness. So I thought the stream crashed again. What? Did something happen? I don't know. Something must have happened. I didn't see anything. Let's see. Let's see. You got to remember that I put in some work before I left. Oh my goodness. It's about to crash because this XP is cheating. No, we ain't crashing tonight. We ain't crashing tonight. Let's see. Let's see. Says I can't keep flooding the chat with my crowd. Favor said that it's working. Says give me a. Let's see. Alan says big thank you, coach. That's straight answer I got. That's just. I'll drop you with one of these. I'll drop you with one of these, Alan.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
I I don't want to like because see, here's the thing. I don't run a boot camp. There's nothing that I can get to by me lying to you guys. So I mean, if me if my livelihood was dependent on you setting up for the boot camp, then I'd be like, oh yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I'm just telling you guys the truth, right? This is what I see. So you know what I mean. Let's see. Let's see. Miss Freckles says that I give great info. Thank you so much, Miss Freckles.
I appreciate you.
And Maggie starts calling up Nightbot like, hey, what's going on? Rod Brown says, wow, TCR is still streaming? Tell me, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Alan says, for real, 100% Miss Freckles. Magnetar is coming from my head right now. Says Miss Freckles, stop writing so much. You guys are so funny. All right. Anything else? Rod is here. Now watch Rod. I'm not gonna get to number one. Rod in the building. I hope the live stream. Ooh, throwing shots at my guy Rod Brown. Hope the live stream went well. Shots fired. So I thought I missed out. Let's see. Great response on the cybersecurity agent opportunity. You know how we're gonna do it. You know how we're gonna do it. We want Wave. We want all the agents. We're gonna put all the agents on the 360 deal. All right. We want all the agents. Let's see. Too competitive. This is flat out betrayal. And Rod Brown says, "What's up, everyone?" Says I feel forsaken. YouTube gotta get this thing right. Says I'm glad it's summer so I can focus more on tech studies while taking a chill route on homeschooling for a few weeks. Shout out to Miss Freckles, homeschooling and all that good stuff. So shout out to you. A lot of good stuff coming, Miss Freckles. So hit me up. Let's see. So Alan says, so coach, with all due respect and all the none knowledge about the role of cybersec, where should I start? Pen test, bounty, bug bounty, still relevant for boot camp for cybersecurity? I need advice. Ferris, you want to take that? Like, if somebody's looking to get in cybersecurity, where would you advise them to go?
Cybersecurity is a very vast and wide field, so
Mhm.
it just really depends. I mean, when you say cybersecurity, it could mean, are you defending against hackers? Are you a ethical hacker? Are you doing compliance? Are you an engineer? Are you a manager? Are you doing application security? It's like very broad, right? So I would say the typical path people usually take is security operation. So that's the defense side of it, or blue teaming. That would be pretty straightforward, and then you can like work on developing your coding skills. You can do detection engineering. Then you can do threat hunting. So you're looking for any malicious activity within your company network, and then you're building detections to stop them. So it just really depends. I'll say probably the quote unquote easy way to get in is security operation. And I know people don't like boot camps here, but I do have to recommend one boot camp. That's from Josh Madakor. It's called Cyber Range. It's $97 for a month.
That's not
You
a
could do
bad
all the projects. You could do everything in a month, right? And on top of that, once you help X amount of people within the quote boot camp or range, whatever you want to call it, let's say 30 people, you can put that company as an internship experience, essentially. So people kind of stick in the community. They kind of help each other out for a few months. They kind of do like real case scenarios. For example, there's a Chinese threat actor that basically hacked into the cyber range on Microsoft Azure. And then that turned into like a group threat hunting project. And then you got all the details. You did like a root cause analysis, and you actually report that threat actor to Microsoft. So, it's pretty good for $97. That's what I really recommend. Certificates, Security Plus, pretty basic. Won't get you a job, but it will get you the fundamental knowledge. Then I would recommend getting any kind of cloud certificate. So Azure 500, or you can go for AWS Solutions Architect. I think that's really the two certs you really need in any specialization you want to go into afterwards. But yeah, I'll say typically just networking is important, being able to read code, have some familiarity with Linux, and maybe two certs, that one boot camp, and that's basically it. I don't think you need to spend thousands of dollars. No, I think you can do everything for $500 tops. So
nice. Yep,
yeah,
that
information's
sounds like.
on there for free.
Can you drop the name of that boot camp in the chat so he can reference it?
Yeah, I'll type it all out.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Let's see. What did I say something to dox Miss Freckles? Did I dox Miss Freckles? What did I say? It says Techo Drop is out here doxing folks. Did I do that? Did I do that? I'm sorry, Miss Freckles. And Rod says, TCR definitely. Rod Brown, you're supposed to be on my side here.
Bruh.
Tell you. Let's see. Spoken like a true room niner. Let's see. It says you old according to TCR. Honestly, we're all up there. I just threw out a random number. I didn't even I didn't process any math. All right, I just threw something out there. Okay. Let's see. It says, oh, we can change that. And Sugar says, I am forever with all caps, forever young. Let's see. It says it's crazy. He came back, right? Let's see. Look, the machine is about to cheat for Rod Brown with the score of 300 XP. I mean, you guys are so competitive. That's crazy. Miss Freckles is number one again. Look at that. Let's see. JLo got number one. Not right now. Let's see. Rod says this scoring is incorrect. You guys don't know the algorithm. All right. It says remember he gave a super chat that counts towards your score. I mean, if you really want to win, right? I'm just messing with you. Oh my goodness. This is beyond incorrect. All the transgressions are happening. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I have been here the longest, second longest. That's probably why he has been here since the beginning. That's true. Let's see. Says how I'm still stuck at 70. I mean, if you want to get to like 1,000 XP, Rod Brown, you know what to do. Oh my goodness. Anything else? Let me see. I think that's everything. I think that is everything. Ms. Freckles says, this is foul business. It's all your fault too, Junior. Everything was fine until you came back.
I hate it here.
Robert says, wait, what's a live stream? We need to jump the scoring system. Let's see. How am I stuck at 75? J Ben is still in the building. Shout out to my guy, J Ben. And Junior says, Coach is going to get rid of this ranking so we don't kill his time reading. For real, right? I didn't even know, like, this thing just showed up one day. It just showed up. I don't know how to get rid of it, all right? I got to find out how to get rid of it because this is driving me crazy. Oh, my goodness. Says, that's a good question. So, Ms. Freckles, what curriculum do you use for home? That's a great question. What curriculum do you use? And Rod says, nah, this scoring is so good. He must be up there somewhere. Let me see. Where are we at? I see Rod Bonner number 9 at 75. Right, keep it. The score cheats worse than Street Fighter 2. I have a story about Street Fighter. I'll share it next time. Let's see. It says I put together my own curriculum. The next 10 weeks is reading boot camp, so I get a small break. Miss Freckles, we gotta talk. Miss Freckles. We gotta talk. It says I'll incorporate the Bible throughout her lessons as well. It says, is your own working well for you? I use classical learner curriculum. That's awesome. Junior, have you heard of the robotics? Or maybe that's the one, but there, someone that I was working with back then, they were homeschooling their daughters, and they had like a robotics type STEM homeschooling curriculum. Not sure if you heard of that. I have to find it again. Let's see. Anything else? I will definitely check that out. And says he doxed my name. I fixed that though, Magnetar. Look, I put a clip. I put the first segment of Magnetar's presentation, and I had no idea where his name was. Oh, my name is showing. I'm like, where? And it's like this half-second mark that no one would ever notice. But I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fix it for you. I fixed it for you, Magnetar. All right. Let's see. Since it's my first year, so it's a work in progress. Ferris says so. Notes, certifications, Security Plus, AWS, SAA, CISSP is all you need in his opinion. It says IT fundamentals, Python. If I had to pick a code, networking is great. The past few weeks we were building our port scanner using Python, so it's definitely possible. Magnetar says the federal sector looks for Security Plus. Ms. Freckles is writing it down. Everyone should be writing it down. Let's see. Yes, I stopped commenting for a reason. Oh my goodness. Now they're tag teaming. Okay. It's definitely a work in progress, but it gets better with time. Says no quitting early next time. And Alan says, I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you, Ferris. Bless you. I feel grateful that I subbed to your channel and found you. Love from Indonesia. What? Shout out to you, Alan. Appreciate it. I truly.
Oh, apa kabar? I just came from Indonesia, actually.
Hold on, Ferris. Say it again. I had the thing going.
Nah, I said apa kabar. I just came from Indonesia, actually. I was there for like a month.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Were you working from there, or were you just like vacationing there?
No, I was just vibing. Yeah, I was vibing.
Nice. You should have vibe code while you were there. Just sad.
I was disconnected from the tech, enjoying nature in the mountains. It's a good time.
That's awesome. So Jay Ben says that he has to get ready for his stream in 2 hours. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go see if I can catch you over there, Jay Ben. If I don't fall asleep, because I've been up since forever. Let's see. Ferris to say I would budget 500. Cyber range 97 a month. Security Plus can be done for around 250. Really? What? Isn't there a test that's like 2,000? Maybe it's a different one I'm thinking about. Coursera, Google Cyber Course, AWS, SSA is $75, and Azure 500 is $75. Sounds like a solid plan. Let's see. Mr. Course says great convo and information provided today. It is our pleasure. Ms. Freckles.
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna use ChatGPT to secure the crowd. Let's see. Junior had said in reference to homeschooling, it's a great journey. Much more to come, but either way, much better than sending them to be taught by strangers. I agree with that. Let's see. Never heard of that. I'm gonna see if I can find it because it was a pretty like her kids are traveling for robotics competitions and stuff like that. Really good stuff. Maybe I should go for QA. Ooh, I don't know, Magnetar. I don't know.
Do not come.
I would not recommend it at this point. Let's see. Ms. Freckles had said, I think we're just about done. Ferris says it has been the best thing I could do for her, and she seems to be excelling and going at her own pace. It's better since she started in Montessori originally. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And remember we had spoke about on one of our breaks about AI, like Duolingo CEO said AI being like a better teacher because it can keep pace with that individual child. So it can go faster if necessary, it can go slower if it's necessary, and it's not one teacher for 30 kids. So might have like a monitors and make sure things are happening and stuff like that. But definitely things are advancing. Let's so how do you pronounce this, Ferris? Ferris.
Oh, bake. Like good. He said he's
nice.
good. Yeah. I asked him, how are you? I spoke about it, and then he said bake.
Awesome. That's awesome. Look at that. Small world, right? Who would have thought? Let's see. It says, where is Google Translators to confirm that Ferris is speaking nice things? Well, Alan just confirmed it for us, Ms. Freckles. Look at that. Let's see. It says, if you come to Jakarta or Bali, I will escort you, sir. That is awesome. And Ferris says, I was in Bandung, is that how you say it, for a bit. Used whoosh from Jakarta to get there. Next time for sure. That's awesome. Megan says, I mean, maybe I can do QA on the scoring system and figure out you can do that. Yeah, definitely you can do that. Let's say we love the languages. And Junior finishes up saying, I know they have homeschool conventions where they have all these activities available for kids to jump into. I take my daughter to visit state capitals for schoolwork. That's awesome. I love it. And Ferris says Japan is next time. Go hang out with my guy JLo on the tracks over there. All right. All right. Well, that was a stream. All right. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let you guys know as of this moment right now, Miss Freckles is number 1, JLo on the track is number 2, and Ferris is number 3, just like we started the show. All right, well, I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Remember, tomorrow morning, somehow, we're going to be going live to do large language models, AI type stuff. We're going to be generating images, generating sounds. And then at noon Eastern time, we're going to be premiering how to use AWS Boto 3 with Python to upload to an S3 bucket. On your way out, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. TechnoDrop.dev. We're going to be doing really cool stuff in the Patreon and in Discord. I'm still cutting up a bunch of videos from Scrum Nights, from Magnetar's presentation. I'm going to be cutting up from Rod Brown's chat that we had, all that good stuff. So see you guys over there. That's it. Any final thoughts, Ferris?
No, it was a fun stream. Appreciate the conversations, and yeah, it's a lot of new people since last time I was here. It's kind of crazy, but
happy to have you back.
Challenge growing.
Hopefully you can get your camera on so we can do this. We can do this on stream next time, answer questions together whenever you can do it again. But yeah. All right, everyone.
Looking forward to it.
Sweet. All right, everyone. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. You guys go check out Courtney Egger show where Jabin is going to be later on tonight. But until then, I'll see you guys in the morning. Tech with Ralph. We are out.
Dusty trolls come out of the woodworks.
whispering their nonsense at the moon, laughing at the silly little quirks. I know they'll be gone soon. Long live the trolls in the shadows, dancing in their mischief parade. Weave your webs and cast your halos. In my world, you're all just delayed.
They say dumb things and I accommodate, flipping words like cards in a game, serving them a plate they can't forsake, knowing none will ever be the same.
I have fun with their foolish schemes, turning noise to gold with a twist. In between their broken dreams, finding gems they never missed. Long live the trolls in the shadows, dancing in their mischief parade. Weave your webs and cast your halos. In my world, you're just a slave.
They crave attention, yes they do, scratching at the walls they seek.
Desperate.